Hi, I'm Ron, and I'm going to teach you how to get a great acoustic guitar tone and a great vocal tone. Shut up. Yeah, this is for all you solo artists, you know, all prospective and everything, trying to get your names out there, and I'm going to help you do that because with better production, you know, people are starting to pay more attention to you, so it works out well. This is also for those of you that are, you know, the drummer in a metal band and have an acoustic solo side project. I'm going to help you guys out. So, you know, I struggled with this for a while. I finally figured it out, so share the wealth, right? Here goes. Alright, first off, you're going to need something called a mixing board. And this is a mixing board. Those $5 microphones from Radio Shack don't count. Stop using them. They sound terrible. We're going to turn this baby on. Boop. There we go. We're going to work a little bit with something called EQ, short for equalizer. EQ is pretty much going to be your best friend. You could get a terrible mic to sound absolutely incredible if you know what you're doing with the EQ. So I'm going to show you my EQ, my personal, you know, acoustic EQ, and it's great because this EQ can go for both acoustic guitars and vocals. So it's nice. You don't really have to do much. I'll show you that now. Alright, first off, you're going to be deciding what channel you're going to use for your mic. I chose channel number 8. Everyone is different. Now this is pan, left and right. Here's effects. These two are useless. And here's what I was talking about. This is the EQ. The most important part of this whole mixing board is right here. So, as you can see, I have 4 EQ knobs. Most mixers only have 3. The 2 center knobs double as the 1 center knob in the 3, so it really doesn't matter. Mine's just a tiny bit more fancy than usual, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. On top, we have our highs. Here we have our high mids. Here we have our low mids, and here we have our low lows. So, what I did was turn up the highs to about 12 kHz. And then the mids, you're really not going to be using too much mids in other things, but slight angle up towards the right. On both of the bass EQs, as you can see, they're both turned slightly to the left, like that. And again, this is the channel. Volume is going to be about here. Just a tiny bit beneath 0. Some people may need to pass it and go about there, but again, that's a matter of preference, and if you're just not getting the right sound out of the mic, you're going to have to play with the volume. So now we go to the effects panel. If you have one on your mixer, you can choose what effect you want. So I usually use effect number 1, which is reverb. And then I'll come back over here to channel 8 and I will turn up the effects. So, you know, that's a pretty good amount of reverb right there. That gives you a fullness in the tone of the guitar. It makes it sound very, I don't know how to say it. Full. Sounds nice. Alright, now I'm going to show you where to put the microphone in relation to the guitar, because microphone placement has a lot to do with how the guitar is going to end up sounding in the main mix. Now, there are 3 different kind of mics. There is ribbon, condenser, and dynamic. Erase ribbon from your memory because you're never going to use one of those. They use them in big studios and they're very delicate. Dynamic and condenser are the 2 that you're going to be focusing the most on. I'm using condenser for my acoustic. This is an AKG Perception 200. Best mic I've ever used for anything ever. I use this for vocals. I use this for guitar amps, bass amps, room mics for the drums, acoustic guitars obviously. This thing really pulls its load. I really suggest this. It's called an AKG Perception 200. Pretty much, I'm just going to show you where to put it. Alright, here's the microphone right there, and here's my guitar. That's about how far away you're going to want it. Some people like to put the sound hole right in front of the diaphragm. That works. Other people like to put the 12th fret right in front of the diaphragm, and that works also. I usually like either 15 or 17, so right about here. That's where I usually have the mic, and I find that that gives me the best tone, but it's a matter of preference, really. The black puffy thing on top of the microphone is something that we call a pop filter, and it eliminates vocal plosives. A plosive is something that you get, it's a pop when you say words that start with P, or when you say a word that starts with S, it goes S, and it picks up all the fuzz that goes along with that pronunciation. So that eliminates most of it. Some people like to use something called a pencil mic, and that's it. It's a condenser, and it's very skinny, and it picks up mostly high end. If you want to use one of these, I would suggest putting it 4 to 5 inches in front of the 12th fret. Okay, my friends, you are well on your way to getting a great tone all around, and soon enough you're going to be putting out songs, and they're really going to sound awesome, because I'm the most helpful person in the entire universe. So just keep that in mind when you're filling out your little booklets for you know, thank yous and everything. Put my name in there, Ron Monroe. Don't forget it. Anyway, with these tips I gave you, you will have an awesome mix. It will sound bueno, and you know, like I said, people will pay a lot more attention to it because it's easier to take seriously when the production is really good. All this stuff combined, it can be expensive, but if you play with your dollars correctly, you can get, you know, you can get these things for pretty good prices, and I'll show you right now, you know, some of the items that you can buy and get great tone with. By the way, there are a lot of debates as to what program for recording is better. In my opinion, I think that they all basically just do the same thing. If you're not too big about effects, you don't need some $300, $400 program. They all do pretty much the same exact thing. They take your track and they lay it out there for you to look at, and all it does is just a playback system. It just plays what you give it to play. I use something called Audacity, and for those of you that don't believe that that Audacity program works, go to my MySpace. It works absolutely wonderfully. I suggest it. Go to download.com and you can download it for free. Maybe one day if you guys message me, I'll put up a tutorial for that. But anyway, Audacity's great. A lot of these guys at shops are going to try and talk you into buying Cakewalk and Cubase and Acid. Don't buy Acid. But anyway, you know, they're expensive and they're really not worth your money until you get very serious. And it's going to be ways from now. This works fine, I'm telling you, it works fine. Anyway guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope y'all have a good time recording your songs, and I hope they sound good, and I would like to hear them. So if you do what I'm telling you, please send me your MySpace, or please send me whatever kind of, you know, song sharing program you have. Send me your stuff. I want to see how it sounds. Thank you. See you.